I've really been enjoying this game a lot. I think this game's really cool. Last week we saw the Flood family history thing with the grandma, and the fish got mad at us about it. That's kind of the short version. Um, yeah, now we have to go find Saint Laurent, who I guess nobody likes or something. But yes, this game's cool. We got our new like fancy ass outfit. I've been feeling rather what was the, how did I put it? Alice in Wonderlandy from it. But as we go into chapter 7 here, I'm just going to replay the storybook that leads into it so we can get a little bit of a reminder of what's going on. Because, you know, it's been a fucking week.
While searching Bunny's cottage for clues about old Molly, Hazel glimpsed her grandma's past and felt sorry for her. But what Bunny did was unnatural. Sealing her dead daughter's spirit in a tree? Despite this, Hazel's powers guided Cherie to find solace in the great beyond.
Yeah, so I guess you have a...
Hazel sought Laurent Baptiste.
You have an aunt you never missed because...
But Hazel wasn't keen on seeing him again, given a mauled history with him.
They died as a child. Family tragedy. Okay, that's where we're at. But yeah, hi everybody. I hope y'all had a nice week. I know I didn't do any bonus streams this weekend, but that's because I was busy. I knew I would be. I know I mentioned it last week too. The, like, big final, not exactly final, but more or less final netrunner tournament of this current cycle before a bunch of stuff rotates out. I talked about last week. Because last week I had spent the whole weekend being like, ooh, spoilers, ooh, ooh, ooh. This week I went to that last tournament. And of course, the new set came out. So while I don't get to play in person outside of these tournaments I go to sometimes, I have been playing the new set a bunch just on the online client. Because, of course, I have new cards, new stuff, new things to fool around with. But the tournament was really the big thing that kept me busy with the weekend, because that was like my entire Saturday. I woke up at, 10-ish? A little bit before 10, I think. Left the house a little bit after 10 to ride the metro all the way out to the shop where this stuff was happening, which, oh, that's definitely not the buttons I meant to press. There we go. Gotta remember my controls. Sorry. Perfect. And then it was 6 rounds of single-sided Swiss. So 40-ish minutes a round. Like, really, there's some time between rounds, right? So probably closer to, you could say, 45 minutes a round. Starting about 11:30 a.m.
Juke joints nearby.
That's where we're headed. With a lunch break in the middle of it. My corpse side went 2 out of 3. And my runner side went 1 out of 3. Which, honestly, better than I expected. I was, let's say, not confident on my runner side. My runner deck, and I knew this going in. I didn't build a new runner deck or anything. I was just using kind of an older, janky one I had put together a while ago because I wasn't super, I guess, not, saying I wasn't thrilled isn't quite right, but building runner was less exciting for me in that last minute than building corp. So I had my silly super combo corp deck that I had talked about a little bit, and it performed fairly well. I was pretty happy. I lost the first game with it, not too surprising. I got just kind of blown out on a relatively early turn. In a way that just shit happens. It was one of those kinds of rounds, which, you know, what are you gonna do? But the other two on the corpse side went much more how I was expecting. Found this little runt of a boy, Laurent, wandering around covered in blood, won't hardly talk about what happened, but his mom and pa are dead. He's little, stronger than he looks. Move crates and keep on lookout for the fuzz. Ooh.
Laurent? 1922? That can't be right. He must be a junior.
Not sure what you mean by that. Must be a junior. At any rate, the other two went a little more like what I expected. My second game as Corp went very much, hey, I got the right pieces in the right order and just sort of was able to score out on 2 different turns to a person who couldn't quite set up fast enough to stop me. And both of those 2 turns were, you know, the combo-y turns. Where I did my silly little, I'm gonna toss a thing in the graveyard, I'm gonna bounce it back to the board while triggered up. Oh, new guy. Alright, hang on, chat. We got a new guy. And I forgot how to play. Woo! I very forgot how to play. I hit the wrong button to dodge like 3 times. Okay. Let me fight this new guy, and then I'll talk about it. Some more. Alright, this is the button to stun people. You need to get out of my face. That's more like it. There we go. Okay. So, you know, I got my setup. I ended that game with just putting the person in a pretty rough spot. I was able to make, my normal scoring server that they had kind of blown up, which took away all their tempo. I was able to put in just 1 card that I needed to just sort of make it so I could score the last agenda I needed. Ooh, hello there.
You're a sight for sore eyes.
And then I just made another server that was completely unprotected but had the same asset or upgrade in it. That was just like, unless you can trash both of these, you're in a bad spot, and they didn't really have the resources to do that and chose not to the first time. And I was like, and I just sort of was like, great, I got this. Once their turn is over, I'm good. And I was. And the third game was actually a bit of a slog. I was against someone who was really roughing me up. Let's see. Laurent crashed one of the damn boats on the shoreline. Lost 2 crates of liquor. Masterson was yelling at him something fierce and raised his hand to strike Laurent. Scared the shit out of Laurent. Face twisted up something fierce. Talked to I cannot say Masterson. Something about that name really fucks up my mouth, apparently. That is gonna take it easy on the boy. Okay.
Masterson sounds like an ass.
Masterson, yes. Anywho. That's the way it wants me to go, which means obviously we're going to check every other direction first. But I was really in a rough spot. The person was playing
huge business here.
Amakua,
What happened?
which is kind of a one-size-fits-all breaker, and I had only gotten my very, like, weakest, cheapest ice that really couldn't keep the guy out to charge it up. So I was kind of just playing a game of let me just hold stuff in my hand and get lucky for a little bit. And try to just hold on to what I have and wait for a bad interaction by them. And luckily, some of my combo pieces are very expensive to get rid of. So I was able to put those down, force them to trash them. Got them at a very low money, and they made a run that put them down to 1 credit with 1 click left, but I was able to land a tag. And with that, oops, wrong button. With that tag, I was able to do a really goofy play. I had a Spin Doctor on the table, bounced Self-Growth Program back into my deck, which I only have 1 copy of it, and it was in the graveyard at the moment, or the archives. But I also had Gaslight on the table, which meant at the beginning of my turn I could search my deck for an operation. So I was able to pop that Self-Growth Program back into my hand. My brain is not able to press the right buttons today. I was able to drop that Self-Growth Program back into my hand, bounce their Amakua back into their hand, along with another just piece of whatever that was pushing them forward. And because they were so low on credits, I was also then able to just kind of put down some really weak ice that kept them from being able to get in and start getting into my servers again. At which point, it was just a game of inevitability as they tried to recover, and I pushed my game forward a little bit too fast for them to make it back. Now, in all honesty, I'm glad Self-Growth Program has rotated out. I think that card is a little bit busted for what you get from it. And the whole format, the standard format right now, is kind of feeling like it's going down a little bit in power level with the new set. That's true on both sides. Okay, that's where I want to go up. Which I think is good. There were some things that were a little too busted, like Self-Growth Program. But that play really meant that, like, it still took me another 4 or 5 turns to win, because I just couldn't find the pieces I needed to actually score. I was just drawing through my deck looking for them. But that play is where they went a little bit too hard at me, and I was able to respond in a way that really just warped the game in my favor in a way that they could never truly recover from. So I pulled that game out. And it felt really good. Those were really fun games. Promoted Laurent to Lieutenant this morning. We all had some drink to celebrate. He's a mellow fella. It was nice to see him excited. He had a little too much to drink and got to crying about his folks. Masterson teased him for crying. For a split second, his skin went taut and twisted. I never seen a man move so fast. He hit Masterson so hard he flew partway across the room, broke his leg. Laurent ran off. Sounds like Laurent might be like a changeling, is my guess. That's what I'm starting to feel. Or a werewolf. Remember last week we talked about Gurus? We were talking about Pack of the Wolf, Brotherhood of the Wolf, the Pack de Loup, the movie, because there were those little hints and shit about it. And some of these little whispers in the background. I don't know if it's loud enough for all of you to hear it. I turned the volume of the game up a little bit this time because after doing editing, I felt like maybe it was a wee bit quiet. Why does it let you come out here? This seems strange. Maybe this is a way back later? Okay. But the whispers feel like they're saying Lugaru. Wait, actually, how do I get back over from here? From here, okay. I didn't realize I could just jump on these little bits. I took that silly side path down. Okay. We're good. Runner side, I obviously did a little bit worse.
She held on to this?
Odysseia, hello! You lived! I'm glad to hear it. I heard you had a bit of a wild weekend.
Hazel took that pic of us just after LeRon had cooked us that 3-course dinner. When he felt safe, he had so much love to give. Wish he had felt safe more often. Sometimes he seemed like he was scared of himself.
I think he probably was. I'm relatively certain he was a werewolf.
But he didn't deserve her. I'm really looking forward to this conversation.
So, my runner side went a little bit less good. Again, I was expecting to lose all my runners. So the fact that the first round of runner that I played, my deck sort of just did exactly what it wanted to do, which is not how it normally works, because it's a little bit of a janky pile of junk that has a game plan, but it's not a game plan that is consistent, we will say. But I went up against a person and literally was just putting that pressure on from the very beginning. And they happened to be playing a deck in Wayland that was kind of about giving themselves some bad pubs, so I had some extra money on my runs. And after milling a bunch of their deck out and running their archives, I scored 3 agendas at once, which wasn't enough to win, but I had so many triggers on scoring agendas that the scoring was fine and good. The power I got from scoring was wild. I built a board state from those scores, clicklessly, that was just like, cool, free money lets me put down this guy. I can order that to put down this other thing that makes you mill another card. It was just massive, the amount of pressure I got off of that one mid-game interaction that really just put us to a point where, like, they were just at a spot where I needed to touch one agenda and they were dead, and then I just pressured the hell out of them until I did. That game was a little back and forth. I will say I wasn't confident I was going to win. I just felt confident that my deck was doing what it wanted to do. Until that giant play where then it felt like they might not have enough cards left to score out fast enough if they stop me from getting in. So I just was able to keep getting in until I found that last point and said, cool, we're good. I won. The other 2 runner games went a little more like I expected, which was, 1, I'm really aggressive. I ran into a snare fairly early and died in my last game. I kind of expected it. And the third one, who would I play against on that third one? The third one, I think it was just kind of a, I never found my pieces. I never really got in. I don't think it was a blowout, but I don't have any, like, memory of a big thing that happened in that one. Like, there are big losses. There was big losses and big wins, and I remember those ones. That one felt like it must have just kind of been a middle of the road, and I lost it. Went looking for Laurent. He's been missing almost a week. Found him bloody and naked in the woods. Looked like he fought a puma. Started babbling, saying, sorry, please let me stay. I won't do it again. Well, he's got to keep those feelings at bay, even if I think it was justified last now. Masterson is an asshole. Oh.
Sounds like he really cared about him.
I think our werewolf may have killed Masterson. But yeah, so overall, you know, 3-3. I ended up 7th out of 14. Dead middle. Dead middle of the pack. Which I'm perfectly happy with. I don't play the, like, big meta decks that everyone's pushing forward and doing amazing with. I'm a person who gets satisfaction making my own bullshit and seeing how it does. And getting middle of the pack with that feels fun for me. Playing in general is fun for me, right? So, I had a lot of fun. I'm really glad I got to do the kind of one last hurrah for, glad we got to do the one last hurrah. Is this where we just were down there? Yeah, it is. One last hurrah for the Fantasy Flight Games cards before this tournament rotation happens. But I'm really excited about the new cards. I've been playing the new cards a lot. I've been having a lot of fun with a lot of the stuff I've experimented with. I haven't really found, like, the deck for me yet. And frankly, the amount of fun I was having with this, like, silly combo NBN stuff I was doing before. I lost all the pieces, basically, that made that deck work. But there are new and other pieces, and I'm trying to see how much I can rebuild to do something similar, if not something as explosive. Got the cliff notes of how Netrunner went from Munchums. Fair. I did get to talk to Munchums a little bit Saturday night afterwards. But the new set has been very cool. I've been feeling pretty good about a lot of the stuff. I've been feeling pretty good about the general reduction of power level in many cases. A lot of the things I thought were problems feel less crazy. And trying to come up with some new, different, off-the-wall ones has been fun. Found Laurent, what, 10 years ago almost? Shut up like a beanpole, good boy. I swear he's aging slower than the rest of us. Where I find gray hair and new wrinkles every day. You still got that baby face? Alright. Baby face Laurent. All that talk about not liking Laurent has me a little bit surprised, but I'm fairly certain Laurent is a werewolf. Maybe killed Masterson a long time ago. Maybe was justified. We ain't gonna make those judgment calls yet. Kaboom. We really went from, like, bright green Wonderland area to this much more gloomy forest, huh? Be sure to leave a few thimbles full of your strongest liquor outside the barrels and crates. Those little drunk buggers will swindle you hard-earned hooch in the middle of the night if you don't. Then they wreak havoc. Gotta give them a peace offering. They like the burn when it goes down. Then again, so do I.
These little guys are menaces.
They're just little rabbits. It's fine. But I've been having a lot of fun with the new set, and I'm definitely Gonna be spending some time trying to get some of my friends to get into Netrunner again. Especially now that we're in a reduced card pool and perhaps a little bit less punishing in some ways at the very least card pool. I'm not gonna say less punishing in all ways. There's some bullshit still, don't get me wrong. There's one tag punishment card that I personally think might be a little bit overtuned from the new set, to say the least. Ooh, wrong one. Keep forgetting I have to hold that one down. That one's a weird move.
Knots around here somewhere.
Correct. Oh, we gotta send my little guy in the little hole. Alright. Oh. There we go. Doot, doot, doot. Oh, I will give you a heads up, Odysseia, because I know there is a warning at the beginning of this game about
Stigma's clearing up.
about there being some spidery imagery at some point. We have not really hit that area yet, but we have hit some indications that we might hit that today. So I'm going to give you the heads up. I think the game is going to be relatively clear if we're getting close. The reason I was reminded just now is... I'll just run in here real quick. You can see the, like, yarn that looks kind of webby up there. It is yarn, specifically. It is, like... This is some kind of fantasy creature. But I do want to give you that heads up so that you are prepared if at some point it looks like, oh, we are heading into a... Like, suddenly we start heading into a extremely red yarn cobwebby area that, like, oh, maybe I don't want to watch this part. I think the game will be fairly clear. I don't think it's going to, like, jump scare us with that kind of shit. And so far this chapter has been sounding like we're going to find Laurent. Not going to find... I don't even remember the name of the creature. Mama Mary or something? Mama Molly? Molly something? Something Molly. Prohibition was repealed. No one needs our moonshine and bootleg wine. Man's way down. I'm thinking of heading out west to find fortunes there. Asked Laurent if he wants to come. Politely declined. Then she's going to make something of herself here.
Remember, it's the 21st Amendment, because you can't drink till you're 21. Gonna have to find a way to get up there.
I don't think that's why it's 21st Amendment, but that is funny little coincidence. Getting back to the old bootlegging spot. Ron's still here, looking ever young and spry. Leapt up and bear hugged me plumb off my feet, felt like he was gonna break my back. He bought the Sawmill's old junk joint, runs a little backwoods bar now. I have a feeling he'll be out here for quite some time.
This is getting weird.
He's a werewolf or a changeling of some kind. It's not that weird. Look at all the other weird shit we've dealt with, Hazel. You'll be fine. Now, why do you suppose I'm able to make that? Gotta be for a way up somehow, but where? Does this get me high enough? I don't think so. No, definitely not high enough. Maybe I can make the jump from here if I have that popped. That felt close. This feels like I'm supposed to have a crate somewhere I can push over here. Or pull over here. Ooh, you know what? Maybe... I'll toss my little boy up there. Yes. Okay. Oh. Alright, little guy, what do you gotta get for me? You have anything you can trigger? Give me a way up. Okay, alternatively, I'm just supposed to come here later. Those are looking like some platformings that I'm gonna want to do. Okay. Alright. Maybe I'm gonna find what I need through here. In fact, I am. It's right there. Oh. But I don't just bust that open. Well, heckity heck. Alright, game, direct me. You are telling me to go up. Am I just bad at jumping? No. This is for sure. I'm supposed to get this thing from the other side of this. I am confident about that. So, what am I missing? Right here. This is what I'm missing. There we go. Guessing this don't have power. Oh, yeah, no, okay.
Door just needs some juice to open up.
Oh, yeah, okay, okay. Fine. They all popped at once, I get it. There we go. A little bit of patience goes a long way. Whoa, hey there. Place is full of spikies. Before we push that thing all the way out, let's just take a peek around here. Make sure we ain't losing out on any little small somethings. Hello, hello. Don't mind if I do. Oh, I was supposed to do that to get up here. Well, I did it with a jump game. Can you blame me? We already were on that roof. That's where we started. The other just little bits? No. Okay. We're good to go. But yeah, I will definitely be trying to get my friends to play some Netrunner with me again. New set, smaller card pool, lower power. I promise not to make decks that are just trying to kill the shit out of you. Because I know that's not going to be super fun to learn with right off the bat. I know Munchum's built a couple of decks in a limited format that we,
There it is. Man, it's been a minute since I've seen Laurent.
limited format that we were gonna play a little bit and try to get some of our friends to come and play before hopefully getting people into it enough to dive into standard and start being like, ooh, yeah, let's play the game and see all the cards and come up with our own little fun meta or something. Alright, we're gonna be doing some platforming, that's for sure. I thought there might be a little something to grab out here, but not seeing any little magic holes or nothing. Alright. I should just pulp this upgrade. Yeah. I got so many points. Why not? Ooh, I thought I messed that jump up. Oh. Ooh, like that the music's starting to kick in, chat. This game has been extremely fun with its soundtrack. Every time I start hearing a new song start kicking up, I'm like, ooh, what are we in store for? That's the juke joint right there. Looks like I'm gonna be going this way after. Alright. Alright, juke joint. Alright, Laurent. You grab a couple things and then I'll come say hi. Liking this kind of like swingy beat. Slow swing. Nothing around here. Alright, alright. Hey, Mr. Werewolf, you around?
We ain't open. Hey, didn't you hear what?
Oh, so aren't you like 100?
Hazel? What are you? You've grown.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Gonna have to learn for a bit. No worries,
Do you
Rose
know where I
Red.
can find Huggin' Molly?
Huggin' Molly, that's what it
What you
was.
talking about?
Yes, you do. Bunny said.
Bunny. As in Bunny Flood, your absentee grandmother? Explains why you dress like that.
Whatever. She's just trying to help me.
Right. Because Bunny's known for giving you a helping hand.
This is different.
I saw how she treated you and Lacey.
And how did you treat Mom?
I treated Lacey well.
Until you didn't. You just up and left us one day.
This is grown folks' business. You a child. This ain't for you.
I ain't no damn child. Do you know how sad she was when you left us?
It was complicated. There was a...
Don't make excuses.
He's a werewolf.
You didn't deserve her.
That's enough. I need you to leave.
Did you even care? What was so wrong with Mama? With us?
Nothing. Nothing. It's me. It's always me.
Laurent?
Hazel, no! I'm not safe. Get out!
Oh, okay. He's a werebird.
Shit. Maybe I can reweave him. How long has he been like this?
Oh shit, man. Your club. I'm sorry. Oh, hell.